Good morning, sons and mice. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Keegan. Yes, that's my real name. I didn't have a choice with that. I've been recording these long morning walk videos for my mental health and to help keep the long form numbers growing. So if you feel like watching some random crap and you're not subscribed yet, feel free to. It helps out a lot, and it's literally free. It's a free way to support. I used to figure that if people wanted to subscribe that they would, and I still feel that way, but apparently the numbers show that when you actually ask people to subscribe, people subscribe more for some reason. I don't know. But I'm here on YouTube and Rumble with the long stuff, and then I do shorts on here and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So I'm not trying to make a full-time living, just trying to maybe supplement my income, which is in higher education, which is overworked and underpaid, which I guess is true for most people in higher education around the world. So I'm going to get started here. Here's a fun fact about the drive over here. It was absolutely terrible. Sad to see what my small little hometown has become. Just the rudest, angriest people on the road now and at grocery stores. And that's what I get, though, I guess, for being loyal during the time when people wanted to leave this area and everybody thought it was dumb. Now it's the new hot trendy thing, and y'all got to make way so the rude hipsters can profit off of everything being built up and sold off and everything else that they're doing. I think that's where they dammed up the creek to make this pond. I'm not sure. The place I'm at is the Alcoa Duck Pond, which there's a lot of people around for this time of day. I remember when there would be nobody through here this time of day. But that's the town we live in now. There's some ducks. Normally I'd stop and get some mealworms or something to throw at them, but I'm broke, so they're gonna have to fend for themselves today. I'll try to record what I can here. I didn't know there'd be this many people here. Fun fact, this boardwalk wasn't here when I was a kid. The parking lot was also a little different. I think the Alcoa High School uses, I saw some high school students parking there without estate plates and walking in with their backpacks. This right here is the elementary school, which has been there since the 70s. And there's some baseball fields on the other side. I'm not too far from where I did the walk last week. The playground on that side, which I'll get to, now it has a fence around it. But when I was a kid, it didn't. And we'd come over here some evenings and anybody could play on it. They've got a big concrete dinosaur that's still there, that was there when I was a kid. It's kind of cool to see. But this is the Alcoa Duck Pond, which was man-made. I'm sure there's a sign over there that will talk about it. This is where they do the Freedom Fest every year, and they shoot off fireworks over the pond. And across the pond over there where I parked is where people will sit, and they'll have food trucks and inflatables for kids and stuff like that. I keep seeing stuff bubble up in the water. There's stuff in there. People fish over here. They'll have fishing tournaments over here too. But it ain't safe to swim in, they say. There's a shot of that boardwalk now. It's like 44 degrees Fahrenheit here. And I'll put the Celsius numbers on the screen for everybody else in the world. Dang it, I'm trying to get to 1x. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, doing the morning walk thing again. Trying to stay consistent with the long form videos. I'm actually up to like 17 followers on Rumble. Didn't expect that to happen. The shorts are doing great, but I want to do all kinds of stuff. And I'm really close to hitting that $100 threshold in revenue to get my first payout from YouTube. Today is October 20th, and I got monetized on January 31st, so it's taken that long. Over there's that concrete dinosaur, which now is inaccessible to the public. Dang it. Sorry, my fingers are freezing. Nope, not 2x. I think I'll keep it wide. Or 1. Maybe 1. We'll see. We'll see. The Greenbelt, part of the Greenbelt runs by here, which I'm going to walk on as well, over by the public pool. There's the ducks. I don't remember that bridge being there back in the day. I could be wrong. This is one of the many things that I'm so busy with life now, I don't really get to come to or bring my kids to and walk around with. They're at school right now. I have to work at 10:30, so excuse me. At least it's sunny today. Yesterday was a little bit warmer, but it rained most of the day, which brought in this cold fall air. Hello, ducks. Gotta watch your step around here. It's like a landmine with all the duck droppings. Unless these ducks are just so sophisticated that they go in an actual bathroom. Hello, sir. Okay. Here's a part of the Pistol Creek, the one that runs through Blount County. I'm going to get up there to those signs, but I think I read that they dammed the creek to build this pond. Of course, Alcoa, like I said last week, used to be part of Maryville, and everything kind of was built up for the Alcoa Aluminum Company that moved in the, I think, 1919. Built neighborhoods of houses for the workers and ran everything. There's a sun over the foggy water. Here's our first sign. Rain Gardens. Cool. You can pause it if you like to read it. Over here's another sign. I see what looks like a bathroom over there. I hope it's open, because Daddy's got to do number one. Here's a sign about the pond. History. You can pause it if you like. And the school, elementary school over there. All right. I'm going to walk this way. Yeah, over there's a Alcoa public pool. That's been open for years. I'm going to walk over to this sign. Probably look like an idiot to the old people driving by, but I don't care. I'll look like an idiot if I have the potential to earn a little extra income for my family. Here's another sign about the rain gardens. So I guess this is this little dip right here, maybe part of it. I don't know. The walkway continues on. I'm gonna see if that bathroom's open. If not, I may have to run over to Food City. I hope not, because that'll take more time. Dang it, I'm on a limited schedule. Oh, there's some picnic tables over here now. Cool. Yeah, I guess it all loops around. I don't know. I haven't walked around over here in a long time. Oh, I see how it goes. Okay. Hopefully these are open. Please be open, and please don't have somebody sleeping in one. I'll be right back. That was successful, so I'm good to go. Sorry for too much information. I'm kind of an honest, open person. That is a nice shot of the sun through the fog. When it's clear, you can kind of see the mountains from here. I'll see if I can get you a good view. There's part of them. Yeah. Part of them. Okay. That's a pretty good size for a park grill. Yeah, that's I've never liked using these at parks with family cookouts because I feel like they were too small. Golly, what the heck is that? Come here. Okay. Sorry. Anyways, the ones, well, like at Sandy Springs Park that I have a video on are kind of small for a family cookout, but those are good size. I could cook on those. There's where we were just at. Of course, we came around a different way. Good shot of the creek. There's 2 squirrels running around over there. They're quick though. That guy that just fluttered away was hanging out over here. Oh crap, here comes a runner. Maybe I can catch the squirrels on camera. I don't know. Hold on, a runner's coming, so I'm going to go quiet for a second and act like I'm taking a picture. See if I can get the sun through there. Can't tell if that's heat from the sun or fog. Anywho's. Okay. The coast is clear. Oh, there's a squirrel over there on the tree. Yeah, this is sometimes you'll see people online tell computer nerds to go outside and touch grass, but that's true. It's very beneficial for humans to get outside, soak in some sunlight. And I'm hoping I won't, but I probably will have a stressful Monday at work here in a little while, so at least I'll have this to look back on. I know those concrete tables are old. There is the public pool, which is closed, obviously, for the season. I haven't been there in years. They've probably used to have a concrete bottom that would hurt your feet. That slide right there, one time it wasn't getting enough water on it when I was a younger guy, and I got stuck at the very end of the slide. And before I had the chance to hop off of it, some big fat kid came down the slide at high speed, flung me into the water, and then another fat kid right behind him came off the slide and landed on top of me. So that was fun. Thought I was going to drown. You can see the pond good from here. I'm guessing this parking here is for part of the elementary school. Now we continue. Over there's part of the neighborhoods built for workers and stuff. Those townhouses over there are pretty recent. I think I was in high school when they built those. Holy crap. Now that I'm up here, I can see how far away those picnic tables are from the pool. Who wants to eat a sandwich that far from the pool and have to cross the creek to get there? Whew. Building's bigger than I remember. They've probably added on to it. Because I think it used to just be a tiny little building. I could probably see what the street view image from 2007 looks like, because that would be the oldest one for this area. There's Alcoa Middle School. The high school, they've done a lot of work up there, which is behind that. It's got a big fancy metal dome now, and it's fancy. Is that a historical sign? Maybe. Yeah, it's about the pool. Yeah, this has got to be a newer building. Here's a informational sign about the pool. Feel free to pause it and read it. What? They had a covered tea room and shuffleboard alleys and a bowling alley? Dang. One of the finest municipal pools in the South. Well, Alcoa Aluminum had a lot of money. Okay. I'm gonna walk around. Time check. I think we're good. Shouldn't take that long to get around the end where it kind of loops around back to itself. Trying to think of more places to walk. I could we have a park in town called John Sevier Park, which my kids like, especially my youngest, because it's one of those all-inclusive parks that has stuff for disabled kids too. It's easier for him to reach stuff. But they got a little walking path around there and the public pool next to it. That's across the street from where I went to kindergarten in '94. Here's another view of the pool. There's the giant death slide and all that good stuff. Cool. Oh, I remember that bridge. Yeah, you can see there used to be part of a sidewalk over there. That's an old bridge. That graffiti bridge right there is also an old bridge. Okay, I gotta figure out where to cross now. There's the creek that runs through. I guess I'll cross right here. Cool. Just a guy walking through town by himself. That's it. Nothing to see, people. Hey, there's a Pokeball. Let's see. Where is the walking path? There's a Blue Star Memorial. That sign looks old right there. Okay. Now we're going to keep walking. I think I see it. Maybe. Like I said, I haven't walked around over here in years. I think that's a street. I used to just run right through the middle of it and play. Maybe that's a walking way. I don't know. We'll figure this out together. That road there will take you up to the high school, and I think now it connects with Hall Road. Okay. Huh. Well, there used to be a walkway around here. I'm just walking in the grass now. There's a sign for the Blunt Historic Tour, wherever that is. I'll have to look into that. I'm gonna have to find this walking path. Still listed on maps, but I don't see it anywhere. I guess I better check Google Maps real quick. Hold on. Figured it out. It's on the other side. So I should have stayed over there. Okay, lesson learned. I'll know that for next time. I'm glad my feet are getting wet and cold. What I've always liked about Alcoa is just natural rocks everywhere. There's a community in Alcoa called Rock Gardens, and there's a public park over there. And they've got rocks everywhere like this. It's kind of cool to see. Yeah, I'll get back up to the sidewalk because I don't think I can hop over that creek. Here's another view of that sign, which you can't really see because of the sun. All right. Made it back to the Pokeball. What's all this mess? I don't know. It smells like paint though. Now we're back on concrete. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it over that creek. There's some nice magnolias. I always like the look of those trees. Speaking of leaves, somebody's burning one somewhere and I can smell it in the wind, if you know what I mean. The devil's lettuce. That guy's over there mowing. I'll leave him be. Let's see. I guess I'll take a left up here. Or I'll probably just stay on the sidewalk and then come back around. This is known as Spring Brook Park, City of Alcoa. It's a nice shaded area. It's a good patch of nature that hasn't been sold off yet, like everything else in this area. I can't get to point one. There we go. Maybe if I hit the one, that'll help. Little rock wall. Oh. What I like about places with big trees like this is there are squirrels everywhere. This has got to be the most boring video on YouTube. But like I've said before, I've seen some terrible crap that performs well because of I guess the size of the following and whatever else the YouTube system looks for that they don't really tell anybody. Some of the neighborhoods. It is peaceful through here. You used to see a lot of cars with like 24-inch chrome wheels and subwoofers blasting, but I don't know. It seems a lot more gentrified now. Kind of lost its character. Watching the weather. Oh, that's cool. Also, you can become a registered weather spotter through the National Weather Service. Take a free online class, and it's free to do. There's a playground over there. That's newer because when I was a kid, it had a lot of wooden beams. That right there is an old school building. I can't remember which school. I could look it up, but when I was in elementary school, I went to a week-long summer sports camp there during the day. And I remember one time they taught us how to play floor hockey on the old wooden floors. And all we really did was just chop each other's calves and ankles with the hockey sticks for about 30 minutes. All right. See what these signs are. Balance on your foot. I don't know. My great uncle had terrible knees and a foot problem from diabetes, but he could balance on one foot pretty good if somebody was shining a flashlight in his eyes. Here's a historical sign. Feel free to pause it if you like. Looks like they kind of had standard layouts. Be ready to get these shoes off when I get home. My feet are cold and wet, boy. Hold on, a walker. Here's another little sign. As you walk with your child to the next sign, reflect on your childhood. Okay, I'm pretty much doing that now. Cool. I'm following the signs and I don't even know it. We're on the back end of that old school. Old basketball goals. There's an old baseball field over there too. Did a little t-ball at. I'll walk up to that sign. Boy, this is a bigger loop than I thought it would be. Here's another sign. Huh. I don't know which way you're supposed to go on this trail. I'll go back to that sign on the left after this one. Some tennis courts over there. They're probably used for pickleball for all I know. Here's a sign about the school, Springbrook School. Cool. I could cut through there. Let's see. There's a nice little playground over there. I'm gonna have to bring the kids to sometime. I need to look at Google Maps and see how it loops around. Some nice information about our trees. We'll check Google Maps and I'll be right back. Just like that, I'm back. I'm gonna continue around the long way because there's a sign on the other side that I want to get as well. It's nice to see the fall colors coming in. You never know what the weather's going to do though, because like it was still hot during the day even though the trees were changing. And my birthday's on October 3rd, and there were some years where it was cold like this on my birthday, and I absolutely loved it because it was still officially fall. But then I've had birthdays like this year where it was kind of hot, and I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. I'll come get this sign. I'm pretty sure that one on the right says Springbrook Park. So that must be the first activity sign. Greenway etiquette. Here's a map of the whole area and where we are. Cool beans. It's nice that they have public bathrooms. There's some on this side as well. There's another shot of that playground. Another sign for kids and parents. Parents and kids should do things together. feel like a hypocrite saying that though, because I came and did this after I dropped the kids off at school. Call it reconnaissance. I know how to get sent forward and scout out an area before everybody else gets brought in. So once I get a feel of the land, then I'll bring the little ones through. I always want to go up to a jogger and be like, "Are you okay? Who are you running from?" But that kind of holded their day up. And mine, I don't have that much time, so I'm gonna have to start walking back around. Right there's the intersection of Nobel Street and Alcoa Road. We have a lot of streets named after scientific people and other important figures. Here's another children's and parents sign. Cool. There's the creek. See the water flowing. Little bubbly. Technically, the greenway continues down that way because it goes over most of Blount County, but I don't have time. I would like to ride it on a bike someday and maybe put up a GoPro. Try to get a camera mount or something. There's also plans and talks to connect the one here in Blount County with the one in Knoxville, and then on the other end, the one in Townsend. So theoretically, when it's all done, you could walk or ride a bicycle from downtown Knoxville all the way to Townsend, where you go to Cates Cove and the rest of the mountains and stuff. I bet that would be a long ride. I've been wanting to ride the Cates Cove Loop on a bicycle. The last time I did it was like 2008 or 9, and had to keep stopping for traffic. Gentlemen. Here's another sign. Move creatively. Walk like your favorite animal. Mine's a turtle, so I win. These are some, these are some older houses, which I think older houses have character. A lot of the new stuff they're building around here, it's like cookie cutter homes. They all have the same layout. Some of them are almost right on top of each other. And there's some where every house in the whole neighborhood looks exactly the same. So if you said like, oh yeah, we're at the blue house, if they're all blue, then that's confusing. Here comes a walker again. Here's another children's sign. And we continue the walk. A lot of these, you'll see markers like that too through Sandy Springs. People important to the area, or I guess someone who's done something important or donated money or something. There's that first walkway and a little bitty old bridge. Maybe I'll check that bridge out in a minute. If you can't tell by the noises, we are close to railroad tracks and the airport. Okay, I gotta keep going. Time's gonna get away from me. Like to have time to heat up a leftover hamburger before I have to work. There's that bridge. I think I'll let the elderly folks have some privacy. Here's a very dirty sign about some homes. Some people that were important in this area. Let's see. Looks like one of them is that one right there. I'm not sure where the other one is. Springbrook Road. Yeah, that's that. Huh. Maybe it's over there. I can't read that far. I've had the same glasses for 3 years, and my prescription has changed twice when I've had it checked. And I haven't been able to afford a new pair of glasses, so I'm stuck with these. That's what's funny is when you pay for insurance you can't afford to use. I mean, the eye exam was free. That was it. Everything else you got to pay for. And you know, working in higher education, you're just rolling in money, boy. That's why I tell people you got to love what you do and do it for the students and believe in the mission, because you're not going to make a lot of money doing it. It's like public school teachers. I'm just looking at this sign there, little guy. This one's about stretching. Those squirrels are somewhat tame. I'm not going to chase you. There's another one over there. There's one there. There's one over there. Golly, it's like a dang Pokemon game. They just pop out everywhere. There's two more over there. That's nice. Should get back to the car here shortly. Let's see. Yeah, this is a nice peaceful area if you wanted to bring a picnic lunch. Discover and demonstrate. Might be fun to bring the kids through this sometime. Hey, squirrel. Okay. I forgot they don't speak English. Dang it. That one's guarding the bridge. Is there a toll? You know what they say. A toll is a toll. And a roll is a roll. And if we don't get no tolls, we don't eat no rolls. It's from one of my favorite movies, if you don't know. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Yeah, I wonder if they just randomly scattered tables throughout, if they actually had a plan. There's a grill right there, but it's not close to any tables, really. Here's a sign about counting, which I want to learn how to do someday. All right, moving on. pretty sure this is the dumbest video you'll ever see if you watch it. The long form videos still don't do as well. I guess I'm not gimmicky enough. Also, my stuff's pretty boring, but it's what I can manage right now with my schedule. I'm trying to get more ideas for longer stuff. Here's a sign about a stream buffer. Can you see it? Pause it if you need to. But the stream is pretty much covered through here. I see stuff bubbling around. That's nice. Moving on. There's a stone wall for something. I don't know. There's where your dogs go poo. Alright. There's that guy cutting the brush. I guess we'll walk this way now and head back to the car. I'll just walk. What's that guy with that phone doing? Are we going to be on TV? That's what's funny when old people see you recording something like, are you going to put us on the television? Are we going to be on the television set? No, ma'am. The way the internet stuff is nowadays, you might get more viewers than TV. Who knows? Probably not. Nope. Not on my channel. Let's see. I guess I will walk back on the same side, because that's where the walking path is. Well, there is one on the other side, but that road's a lot busier. Trying to get my confidence up too, to be able to record stuff and not have to keep stopping when people are walking by, or some people drive by. The walking stuff's more important because some people might not want to be on a camera, and I understand that. I was that way too, and then I decided to start uploading stuff. So if I had one regret, and I kind of do. Holy crap. Yeah, a quarter. Oh my gosh. I just found a quarter in the middle of the road. I'll throw that one in the bank. There's a little gate to keep out the rogue swimmers. Oh yeah, anyways, if I had one regret, it would be that I didn't hop on the YouTube train when it first came out. Because I remember when YouTube started in, I think, 04 maybe. I turned 16 that year, and I was already doing dumb stuff with digital cameras, which were poor quality, and camcorders. So I should have just started stuff back then. And then I remember when Google bought them in 06, then it started getting even bigger. If I could go back in time, I would start doing the uploads back then, and who knows where I'd be right now. I could have ended up being a wealthy, arrogant person, which is not my natural character, so maybe it was for the better that I've had to struggle all these years. Huh. Yeah, this has got to be a newer building. I'll look into that when I get home. Or I'll look at that sign closer on the video. Well, I take it probably that the random picnic tables down here off to themselves are probably a holdover from... This is a newer fence, and I don't think the boundaries of the pool property used to be as big, so these were probably open picnic tables. Walking around. Off in the distance, I can hear the highway. That's pretty much anywhere you go in town now. Unless you're one of those fortunate people who own property behind a big hill on the opposite side from town. So that part of the walkway there just goes up to... If I would have went up to the road and walked down, I would have came back down on that. Or I could just stayed on the road all the way to the car. We're almost back though. I can see it. I can see it. There's a nice selection of birds out. I hear little kids too at the school. That guy's got a brake hanging or something. I know that sound because mine usually sound like that before I can afford to replace them. Let's see, did I look at that sign? Yeah, because I walked down this way. All right. It's not as foggy now. See the mountains a little better. I hear a train. I would say it's at the Alcoa plant, but that's not an Alcoa plant anymore. It's an Arconic plant, so. There's a lot of railroad tracks between the plants. North and South plant. There used to be what they called the West plant years ago. And if you look at Google Maps, where Hall Road meets Alcoa Highway, it sat where the Food City is now. And for years, it was just a giant concrete slab in the middle of a field after they tore it down. But they used the railways to move stuff back and forth between the plants, because obviously you can haul a lot more. And it's more efficient than trucks over the road. They've had to do some stuff by truck. There was times where my grandfather had to, they'd haul big new transformers from one plant to another, and they had this big oversized flatbed trailer pulled by a semi truck that had 2 transmissions, and he'd have to drive that thing. I don't remember how many gears he said that totaled up to, but they Alcoa police would have to shut off Alcoa Highway. They have to bring it down the opposite side because of how it banks right there where Hall Road meets Alcoa Highway. But I'm back to the car now, so I'm going to get in and sign this video off. I'll be back. Well, that concludes this morning walk. I have to go get milk on the way home because we don't own a cow, and we gotta get it somehow. trying to think of which way I want to go. I don't want to get stuck in that mess. Okay. Supposedly, Google Maps says there's a Chipotle in one of those at the end of one of those neighborhood streets. I haven't been over there. I'll do that one day when I've got time. I'll drive over to it. I won't walk there. Oh, this road right here is what goes right to Alcoa Highway, which I want to avoid. Yeah, this road used to not exist. And the last time I was at the Freedom Fest watching the fireworks, they were building that road, but it didn't go anywhere. And that whole hill was open for people to sit there and watch fireworks. And then we'd park in one of these cow fields down here. There also used to not be a roundabout right here. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the best way to go. The intersection at the end of that road gets backed up. Oh, there's a tractor. Okay. I made the right choice for once. That building there looks like it used to be an old fire station. I don't know. I used to live in apartments right around this area. Once in third grade and then for about a year when I was 20. And I used to jog the Greenbelt. I was in better shape back then. It's still running through here. And one summer day, it just started pouring rain. But I was fine with it because I didn't have any devices on me. Of course, all we had then was a flip phone. And then, yeah, this is Springbrook Road. And then I didn't have my wallet or anything, so I just embraced it and kept jogging. It actually felt pretty good because it was hot that day, so it was a nice warm rain. Cooled you down but didn't make you freeze. There's a lot of old buildings around here that used to be involved with the plant somehow. Right over there, which I'll put a picture up here, is an old stone house. It's got a big story behind it. Apparently now you can tour it. I've never been in it. Oh, I better check the tracks. There's that train that we heard. Oh, that guy turned. Okay. There's a lot of little houses going up on this road. Can't remember the name of this road. I didn't look at the sign either. There's an old bridge that goes over it that pretty much goes to nowhere. And it's been that way as long as I can remember. There's a road you turn up and I guess you used to cross the bridge over to the Alcoa South plant, but the bridge doesn't go anywhere. And both ends are overgrown with kudzu. I might walk up there one day just to put eyes on it. But if you stuck around for this long on this video, I apologize. Maybe you'll regain your mental sanity and have a much better day. Right road. I can't believe I can remember that. That's the same road the apartments are on. Now we're crossing into what's called the Oldfield community, which I lived at in high school from 8th grade when we built our house through Habitat for Humanity until I got out of high school and moved out. Everybody was like, y'all live over there in the ghetto. I don't know. Everybody was nice in our neighborhood and people in other neighborhoods too. I'd walk with friends around the other neighborhoods and people would be out on their porch or working on their car and they'd wave at you. But I'm not going to drag out this outro any longer than it has been, so I appreciate everybody that's watching and subscribing and following and supporting. If you haven't done so yet, it helps the channel out and it's completely free to you. It doesn't cost you anything. So, kind of scratch each other's backs there, but thank y'all for watching and I'll see y'all on the next one.